Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Devil's Den. So, we just got finished watching the Washington Capitals versus the New Jersey Devils preseason hockey game. The Devils lose 5-3 in regulation, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I have a little bit to rant about. And I understand it's preseason. I get it. I really do. I understand. But there's a few things that I feel like we should talk about specifically in this game in particular. Okay? So let me caveat. Let me put this out there as context that I understand that it is preseason. I understand that preseason doesn't really matter all that much. And I understand that just because you play well in the preseason doesn't mean you'll have a good regular season, like last year. And it doesn't mean that if you play badly in the preseason that you're going to have a bad regular season. I'm not saying that at all. I understand it's preseason, and I understand that it is not as valuable as the actual regular season, and the two's performance, regular and preseason, is not necessarily connected to each other. Okay? I've said that. I've said my bit. On the other hand, did tonight's game not kind of feel like every other game that we played last year in the regular season? They come out, they do fairly well, they shit the bed in the second period, decide not to do anything. The opponent goes up, not only tying the game, but sometimes even extending a lead. In this game in particular, Washington scoring not one, not two, but 3 goals unanswered in the second, go into the second period, down a couple of goals, a number of goals, and then in the third period decide, oh, that's right. We came to win, didn't we? We came to play hockey, didn't we? And then, with 5 minutes left in the third, New Jersey ends up scoring 1 goal, 2 goals, and now they're down by 1. Empty net gets pulled, and Washington scores on the empty net. So it ends up being a 5-3 game. And I'm sorry, again, I get that it is preseason, and I understand that it's not necessarily the most crazy thing for these guys to have, they're not going to have, the craziest performances. They're not going to work as hard as they are, especially if they have a guaranteed spot on the roster. Guys like Timo Meier, guys like Jesper Bratt, guys like Jack Hughes, guys like Dougie Hamilton, guys like Siegenthaler. But, I feel like I watch these games sometimes, especially this year, with me watching preseason, and I feel like I'm losing my mind because I watch these guys in the regular season and I see how hard they play, but then I watch them in preseason and I'm like, if you're not going to put in the effort because it's preseason, and I understand, I get it, then I feel like you shouldn't play. We know that Jack and Jesper and the rest of the final squad, right? Timo and Dougie and Jonas and the rest of the crew that's going to be on the team for the regular season, their spot is guaranteed. I feel like if they're not going to give it their all during a preseason game, then they probably shouldn't be playing. Or make room for all of the guys who aren't a guaranteed crack on the roster to show the team, to show the fans, to show the management that, hey, I actually do deserve a spot on this starter roster outside the guys that are already guaranteed a spot. Guys like Stillman, guys like Casey, I don't know. I feel like it's the most wild thing in the world that when it feels like when people criticize people's performances like I am doing in a preseason game, they go, well, it's only preseason. And I get that. I understand that. But I feel like if we're only going to give 70%, right, of our effort because it's preseason, and again, I understand that, then move aside and let a guy who's not going to be guaranteed a spot, allow them the playing time to show that they are actually worth taking a chance on. For example, I know I've been shitting on the Devils quite a bit tonight, But guys like Seamus Casey, who I think genuinely has the ability to potentially anchor a power play this year at some times. Guys like Stillman, who I think has so much freaking potential. I'd like to see, it looks like this year we're going to be having a Markstrom Allen 1A 1B wombo combo matchup with our goaltenders. So let Dawes play in the preseason and let him get more of that development. Because it's crazy to me that you're going to have guys like Meyer, like Hughes, like Siegenthaler, like Hamilton, like Bratt, and they give like a they don't give their full effort, and it ends up making the game feel worse to me. Like, think of it this way. Would you rather pay tickets to go see a guy who you know is a guaranteed crack on a roster, who's going to give like 60-70% effort, or are you going to go pay a ticket to go watch a guy who's going to give 100% of his efforts day in and day out because he knows that he may not make the roster, but that if he works really friggin' hard and shows that he's deserving of a spot, then like maybe he'll give a crack at it, but he's giving 110% on every single shift he's out there. I don't know, to me, that's way more entertaining than watching bona fide superstars that already are guaranteed a spot on the roster giving 60-70% of their effort because they know they're already going to be on the squad. And then you get games like 5-3. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind because this is the first time that I've actually sat down and watched preseason games in detail, took notes for videos like this, and had like an actual opinion or expressed a particular feeling about preseason games. But this, like, that drives me insane, and I don't get why. And again, I just know that whether it's on social media or in the YouTube comments, I know I'm going to get roasted for this take. I just know it. I already know it, right? Because everyone's going to say, oh, well, it's just preseason, man, calm down. And again, I know that it's preseason, and I know that I shouldn't care as much as I do, but it's just so weird to me to have guys on the ice that are only giving 60-70% effort. And then you have guys who really are giving 100% every single time on the ice because their future isn't guaranteed for them, unlike the superstars on our team. And if the superstars on our team are giving 100%, then what the hell was that? You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. There won't be a video for Friday night's game as I'm going to be unavailable, unfortunately. But hopefully if there's any games on the weekend or on the Monday or the Tuesday, I'm going to try to watch those games. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Yeah, 5-3. Devils are 0-3 in the preseason. Again, I don't really care about the record in the preseason. Don't care if they lose all the games. Don't care if they win all the games. I just wish there was a consistent effort. I really do. Anyways, have a good night, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Adios.